Very well. What next for the Inspector General of Police as he's in Kumasi?
Well, he says that after this, he's going to meet the family of the deceased, which we are told they came here. Upon hearing that the IGP came, or also hearing the news, they wanted to also come and verify and check what has happened. So from here, the IGP will be meeting them, and maybe they can discuss with him the funeral arrangements and what they will be doing subsequently.
Very well, grateful for your time. That was our Ashanti Regional Correspondent, Hafiz Tijani, bringing us up to speed on a fire incident which led to the death of a police officer with the anti-robbery unit of the Ashanti Regional Police Command, together with his wife and 3-month-old baby. We'll bring you more of that in our subsequent bulletins. Now, let's go to the Volta region.
Now, several shops, including a corn and fufu mill worth thousands of Ghana cedis, have been burnt down in the Hohoi Central Market in the Volta region. The fire, according to some residents, started from the mill, causing some electrical wires connected to the mill to be affected. Efforts to douse the fire by residents proved futile as fire tenders in Hohoi were reported broken down. And the cause of the fire is, however, yet to be identified.
You're still listening to the City Prime News on 97.3 City FM. My name is Hawa Idrisu, here with Kweku Ejiama, and still to come. Sporadic shooting by suspected land guard over the weekend leaves residents of Papasi number 1 in the Central Region in fear. We have details of that and other stories coming up shortly. Please stay with us.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
Fine, anyone can become the house of you.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, anyone. Whether market woman, student, professional, even fisherman or cobbler. YouGoFlip, a real estate gaming platform that allows you to play and stand the chance of winning a house, cash, or other prizes, such as savings towards the house. Simple and easy to play. Visit www.yougoflip.com. Buy a ticket to enter the game. Wait for the end of the game to enjoy the win. Anyone can win. Contact us on 0555222490. YouGoFlip. This advertisement has been vetted and approved by the Gaming Commission of Ghana. Play responsibly, not for persons below 18 years, and gaming can be addictive.
Counting a population of over 1.4 billion people, a vast wealth of natural resources, and brilliant minds, welcome to Africa, where our collective prosperity is very much achievable. This is why the Africa Prosperity Network, under the auspices of the President of the Republic of Ghana and the African Continental Free Trade Area Secretariat, presents the Africa Prosperity Dialogues, dubbed the Kwewu Summit. From the 26th to the 28th of January 2023, His Excellency Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo will host some of his colleagues, heads of state, over 500 business leaders and social sector leaders on the continent and in the diaspora for the Africa Prosperity Dialogues. Themed AFCFTA, from ambition to action, delivering prosperity through continental trade. Register at www.africaprosperitynetwork.com.
Using a condom will protect you and your partner from HIV, STIs, and unplanned pregnancy. Condoms are an effective way for protection against HIV infection. Don't take risks. Use a condom every time. Always come prepared.
This advert is brought to you by the Ghana AIDS Commission and Ghana Health Service.
City Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connect you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. Now, some residents of Papasi number 1 in the Central Region say they are living in fear after witnessing sporadic shootings over the weekend by some individuals believed to be land guards. Some construction workers on the land in the area were physically assaulted. When Citi News visited the area, empty bullet casings were seen around. Here are some residents of the area speaking to Citi News about the incident and how it is affecting them in the area.
We started something on my land. Actually, we were trying to develop it. Guys came in with weapons, guns, shooting all over. And I have sample of the gun that they shot. In fact, they were chasing the guys with their guns and other weapons, which was very, very terrible. And, you know, we live in a community where we have children, women, and other nearbys walking around. And shooting around with guns and other things, I mean, even coming out from my house is very difficult for me because I'm not safe.
You can't be bringing guns and putting warning shoot, putting fear in the citizenry, disturbing the peace of the workers on the field. They said they should stop the work because the land does not belong to whoever ordered them to come and work here.
Workers like people who are working on their various
No, masons and laborers, they are working on the land. So they stopped them from working.
All we heard was gunshots, motors moving in and out. Basically, we were all scared what was happening. Before we got to know, there's been some hooligans coming in from all over. We don't know where they came from. We went to the Ofanko police division to report the issue to them, that this is what has happened. So now there hasn't been any arrest.
Those were some residents of Papasi number 1 in the Central Region recounting a shooting incident by some alleged land guards.
From security, let's do education, because accommodation continues to be a major challenge for most teachers in rural communities in the Sunyani West municipality of the Bono region. As a result, teachers in 15 basic schools in the municipality have to commute between 10 to 20 kilometers daily using tricycles because of the absence of staff accommodation in the communities they teach. Teachers of Kanturo AME Zion Basic School who are going through similar challenges are urging the Municipal Assembly to consider putting up staff quarters for teachers to help improve teaching and learning.
Normally, we have to go to the station, wait for Praja, the tricycle. Yeah, it's quite unfortunate. That's what we use as a means of transportation to come here daily. Mostly, you get to the station around 5:30 a.m. Yeah, we'll be wanting to come to school very early, but then the tricycle will come around maybe 8:39, which is very bad. So that's one of the major issues that we are facing here. We don't have a place to stay here. If only we had somewhere to stay, I think teaching and learning would be really effective. Because looking at the time we come from town and the time that we will get here, if we were staying here or somewhere around, that would have been perfect.
It's very, very difficult for the teachers. You know, nowadays, the amount you spend to buy fuel, to commute from here day in, day out, a journey of about 10 kilometers. Every day you come and you go. It's not easy. So if something happens on the road, who is going to take care of you? You see the nature of the road. So if you get accommodation here, so the teachers will be staying here and then be engaging with the people so that in every day they will see us. When they have any challenge, they will come to us and then we solve it for them.
The situation here is very bad. As you are working, every day you take the risks to come here. And if you don't have motorcycle, you come in with the aboboya. And at times too, you not even get, after crossing, you not even get the aboboya to take you back to town. You walk from this place. I hope you saw the road when coming. You walk from this place to Kadlek before you get a car back home.
So you hear there's some teachers of the Kanturo AME Zion Basic School speaking to Citi News. Meanwhile, a deputy director in charge of supervision and monitoring at the municipality, Seth Opuni, tells Citi News that steps are being taken to ensure rural schools in the municipality get accommodation for teachers.
Yes, we are aware of teacher accommodation as a challenge to quality education delivery in the municipality. As a matter of fact, this is not the only place we have such a problem. We have about 15 communities, the directorate, suffering from teacher accommodation. But our partners are doing well. That is the hope. The assembly is doing well, the MP is doing well, all other stakeholders are also doing well. Currently, as we stand here, there is one ongoing project in a sister school, HME Zion. AME Zion School at Adunya. Yes, Assembly is putting up teachers' quarters, 6-bedroom apartment there. It is near completion. We also have others in Asante Foster, so we also have them in Bofo Chrome. Just that it cannot be done one day. So our partners are doing well. They are helping us. We are aware. A lot of challenges are there. Teachers are having accidents each working day. Every school day, they have to commute between 10 to 20 kilometers each school day. So it's a challenge. We write a report. This is our PRO. We write quarterly report and periodic reports to our partners. The Assembly is one, MP is one, all our stakeholders. So we have written several of them to them.
Seth Opuni is the Deputy Director in charge of Supervision and Monitoring in the Sunyani West Municipality of the Bono region.
The National Road Safety Authority says it will begin cracking the whip on schools, particularly private basic schools, using defective buses to transport school children. The authority last year began random inspection of transport services offered to school children in order to ensure the buses were roadworthy. Speaking to Citi News, the director in charge of regulation, inspection and compliance at the National Road Safety Authority, Kwame Kodia Etuahinen, said the exercise led to the grounding of buses of some schools in the Central and Ahafo regions.
It is not compulsory that when you take a license to run a school, you must necessarily run a bus service. It is not compulsory. The two are mutually exclusive. So it is not every school that runs a bus service. But once you take up the additional responsibility to run a bus service, you cannot take our kids for granted. You must deploy quality buses and you must deploy skilled personnel. If you are unable to meet those benchmarks, we are sorry. Unfortunately, we haven't had the opportunity to be in every school. But trust me and take my word for it. If we visit any school in the coming weeks, just as we have done in the past, and we are not convinced, we will not allow the schools with defective buses and poor quality services to run. Ultimately, the National Road Safety Authority has responsibility to reduce crashes, injuries, and deaths.
Kwame Kodia Etuahinen is the Director of Regulation, Inspection and Compliance at the National Road Safety Authority.
Students of Islamic Senior High School in the Serenigu municipality of the Northern region are squatting to eat in a deplorable structure due to the lack of a decent dining hall. Also, female students of the school are forced to sleep in a congested dormitory due to limited accommodation. According to the students, the infrastructural challenges in the school are hindering smooth academic work, hence the need for government and other organizations to come to their aid. Our Northern Regional correspondent Dinah Ngwan has the rest of the story.
This is the supposed dining hall for students of Islamic Science Senior High School. From rotten ceilings, broken louver blades, to dilapidated concrete floors. Students here sometimes contend with animals for the hall owing to the lack of doors at the entrance. Some students have been speaking to Citi News.
We are not feeling comfortable in the dining hall. And we are not feeling comfortable because our food is served on the floor. Our food is served on the floor. Look, the dining hall doesn't have any gates to cover when we finish. So the sheep, the goats, everything, they will come inside. They just defecate around. The droppings will be there. If we come to eat, unless we sweep it before we can eat. If we don't sweep it, we can't. And when it is raining, we can't come to the dining hall because the dining hall will be filtered.
There are no fans, the ceilings, and when it's even time for this thing, time for dining, students, sometimes when it's raining, students find it very difficult here because all their dresses will be wet. And so they sometimes find it very, very difficult. And we don't even have chairs. Chairs are not there, the fans are not there, no lighting. The lighting system is very poor. Sincerely speaking, we will appeal for furnitures and fans and support, a little support, because the food there is not enough. The food is not enough for the students. So sometimes we only come and we get some small quantity, but I just have to take it like that because we don't have any option. So we appeal to get more food to satisfy the students.
Since the inception of the school some 25 years ago, it has not seen any facelift. The dormitory block, which was originally designed to accommodate 240 students, now houses over 1,000 students, while the population of the school keeps growing. With a current population of 3,000, female students alone make up nearly 2,000 of the population. Some of the girls told Citi News their dormitory lacks ventilation and is infested with bed bugs.
There are many in this room, about 50 plus in this room, and this room is too small for us, and there is no even fan in the room. If the rain is falling, we have to stand till the rain stops before. We are pleading for the government to give us more facilities.
There are no fans there, no beds there, no mattresses, and sometimes it's very pathetic. It's very pathetic. In the night, you come and see us lying down there, and animals too, goats and sheep too, they are always there.
It's our bathroom that they have changed to a room for us because of lack of dormitories. And we are appealing for people to come out and help us build dormitories. And the toilet is full. We can't go inside the toilet and defecate again. We are defecating outside here. And you know that our bathroom is small for us to occupy, so we always suffer when we are to bath. You have to stand for 2 hours till one person bath and come. You also stand. So that is making us to waste our time in the dormitory. So we don't go to school early because our bathroom is too crowded. And this room, we are also crowded because we have too many. So there are bed bugs here.
Water problem, like pipe. Pipe doesn't open regularly. Like if pipe is going to open, when it opens this week, maybe next 3 weeks that the pipe will open again.
Aside from the dining hall and dormitories, the school does not have an administration block and enough classrooms. The science laboratory is equally begging for equipment.
We have no equipment, or we have few equipments that we use in doing our lab tests and all sorts of things. Mostly we go to other schools to rent their things in case we have experiments to do.
Meanwhile, a one-story classroom project initiated some years ago has stalled. The headmaster of the school, Abdul Rahman Manan, is appealing to government and other bodies to come to the aid of the school.
We don't have dining hall, we don't have the classroom block, which is at the lintel level, a story building. It's not completed. We are appealing to get funds, and for that matter, the government of Ghana to come to our aid. We are also appealing. The school has no administration block. The school has no pickup or four-wheel drive. The school has no bus. The bus that was given is 33-seater, and the population is almost 4,000. So we are appealing to the powers that be to come to our aid.
The Parents-Teacher Association and some old students are also calling on the government and the Muslim community to help.
The dining hall is an eyesore for now. The PTA thought a problem was a problem that we could solve, but it's beyond PTA's solution. So we are asking government to intervene to assist the school.
So you heard their report found by Citi News' Dinah Ngwan.
You are still listening to the Citi Prime News on 97.3 Citi FM. My name is Hawa Idrisu, here with Kweku Idriama, and still to come. Road contractors call on government to settle the over 5 billion cedi debts owed them to avert a total collapse of their businesses. We have details of that and other stories coming up shortly. Please stay.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
Another year is upon us, and we are poised to kickstart this new revolution with the utmost zeal. Citi TV and Citi FM present to you another rewarding season of the Effective Living series. This year, the Effective Living series will be riding on the back of the theme 2023 Starter Pack, Building Back Better. Every week in the month of January, our team of renowned experts, alongside our exceptional host Bernard Avlen, will delve into various thematic areas that have been carefully selected to cater to your holistic well-being in the coming year. Week 1 will focus on the importance of physical preparation for 2023. After that, we will take a look at emotional and mental health imperatives for 2023 in our second weekly series. Then, we will proceed to the third weekly series with emphasis on professional priorities for 2023. In our fourth and final week, we will dig into the strategic conversation on building financial foundations for 2023. The Effective Living series will be live on the Citi Breakfast Show on 97.3 Citi FM at 9 a.m. and on Breakfast Daily on Citi TV at 9:30 a.m. from Monday through till Thursday. So join us and let's get ready to be equipped with practical information for building back better in 2023. The Effective Living series is sponsored by Enterprise Insurance and Hallmark Freights and Logistics Ghana Limited.
Dakar, Senegal, the city full of art like an open gallery, the city that harbors the pristine beaches of the West. Dakar, Senegal, the city that you can now get to faster. Fly to Dakar, Senegal from Accra 2 times a week with Kenya Airways. Visit www.kenya-airways.com or contact the Kenya Airways sales office to book a seamless flight from Accra to Dakar and over 40 other destinations. Kenya Airways, connecting Africa to the world and the world to Africa.
Citi Prime News at 12 midday. Update you on all the running stories and connects you to the newsmakers.
You're welcome back. The Association of Road Contractors Ghana say their members are disappointed in the government for the meager disbursals made to settle debts owed them. Out of a debt of more than 5 billion cedis, the association says government only made payment of about 10%, contrary to assurances by the sector minister that a chunk of the debts owed would be paid by the end of December 2022. There is more in the following report.
Good roads make all of us happy. And for contractors, it's not just the joy of having good roads to ease the commute of the nation. It's also the fact that they get paid for their hard work. That is why many contractors received the assurances of the sector minister, Kwesi Amoakwata, during a Yuletide ceremony with a lot of joy.
Contractors of this country are doing yeoman's job despite all the difficulties. And I want to assure them that government will continue to work in their interests, and all outstanding payments from now onwards are going to be done gradually from time to time, and a chunk of the outstandings are going to be effected before the end of the year, and it will continue.
We've been checking in with the Association of Road Contractors Ghana to find out from them if the assurances the minister gave have been fulfilled, and if so, how significant the payments were.
We were all happy that it was going to happen. So then immediately, as the National Executive met and decided to go around and see its effect, what is happening in all the various agencies, the various places where road projects are being done. We went to Cocoa Board, and what we found out was some payment was done, but to the extent that it was very disheartening. Payments of 10 to 16% of what was owed contractors was being paid. That is, there were payments that had delayed for 2-3 years, some 4 or 5 years, but they were paid only 10%, 14% of the amount. And it was not acceptable by our members, and it was making us suffer. If this announcement had not gone on, we knew very well that we were being owed, but there was no money to pay us. But if you announce to the whole world that you are paying contractors by the end of the year, and our suppliers, our creditors, our banks are chasing us to bring the money into our accounts, what do we do? The Ghana Road Fund owes contractors 5.9 billion as at the end of October 2022. 5.9 billion Ghana cedis as at the end of October 2022. It was surprised for you to know that only about 54 million of the amount was paid in December. Even look at the percentage. I mean, it is nothing to write home about. It is nothing to tell anybody that we are paying contractors. Those who received it, some of them have reported that They didn't even see the money in the account because the bank just took it.
The national chairman of the Association of Road Contractors Ghana, Mr. John Afu Jr., opened up to Citi News on how the delay in the payment of their debts and also the insignificance of what they have been paid, as he calls it, has been affecting the members of the association.
If this announcement had not been done, we are all quiet. Our creditors are quiet. Suppliers are quiet. But because of this, they are all chasing us. You said something which was interesting. We are not in good times. Fine. But we see other things going on. And contractors are not. That's why I'm saying, what crime have we committed? What do you see going on? You see a lot of other things going on. Payments are being done. You see projects going on. New projects going on. I mean, a whole lot of things. Look, just yesterday, there's going to be 30% increase in salaries of people. Did they mention contractors? We are people who have employed a lot of people in our companies. Our companies are collapsing. When you go around, contractors are dying. The year 2022, what we have on our record, 13 members died. And the 13 members, they all have companies that have monies with the road fund and the Ministry of Finance. What is happening?
Someone might say death is inevitable, as unfortunate as it is. Has it got to do with the debts in any way?
Thank you. These are members, very healthy, taking good care of themselves, but stress. They owed a lot of people. Now they all had hypertension, diabetes, and in a way they couldn't just stay. What medication to do? They had to go to hospitals. Sometimes buying their medication is even a problem for them, but they had money.
Contractors may not go on demonstration, but they believe that for every bad road each Ghanaian drives on, it is an indication that they are striking because the government has yet to pay them after awarding those contracts.
The government must do something about this. Stop awarding projects. Contractors always call we the leadership, Caleb, that we should go on strike. What sort of strike? We always say that. They say we should go on demonstration, block roads with our equipment. Who is it going to benefit? Do you know something? Ghanaians must know that the contractors are always on strike every day. The strike is that when you are driving on the road, you see the bad road. The strike is that when you are driving on the road, you don't see the contractor performing. The strike is that when you are driving on the road, you see the equipment of the contractors idle. What is more than that? So anytime they bring this request to leadership, you tell them, no, that won't benefit us. The communities must say it themselves, that the roads are bad. The contractors must be paid. Look, those who are very interested in this country are the MPs. The MPs go and lobby at the Ministry of Roads and Highways for their projects to be done in their constituencies. Then after that, they go and sit down. And they take their salary every month. Every 4 years, they are sitting in Land Cruisers and so, driving all over. But meanwhile, the community won't tell them, why is the road not done?
Responding to the concerns of the contractors is the PRO of the Ministry of Roads and Highways. His name is Ahmad Nasser Yate. Sir, the minister assured these contractors that a chunk of the debts owed them will be paid. They say you pay them peanuts and now their creditors are chasing them.
Well, it's good you are alluding to the fact that some payment has been made, as the minister said, before the Xmas break. And so the assurance I can give is that, yes, government owe the contractors. The contractors are very key stakeholders in this whole business of trying to provide portable, good road to the good people of Ghana. The assurance is that for every quarter, the ministry receives releases from the road fund. And so as and when we receive some releases, payment will be made. Government is committed to pay contractors, road contractors, for the job, the yeoman's job they've done for this nation. And so will continue to make the effort to ensure that they receive their payment.
For the Association of Road Contractors Ghana, they are more than happy to execute quality roads like this one by one of its own. But what they want is for the government to pay them when they do their work. And most importantly, they want the government to clear its debt it owes them, running into billions of cedis. For Citi News, I am Caleb Kuda.
We do more stories, and there was confusion on the premises of the Asquat District Court in the Ashanti region when family members and neighbors of an alleged murder victim became agitated over a decision of the court to declare the prime murder suspect as a juvenile. Now, the aggrieved family members are accusing the investigators of conniving with the family members of the accused person to change his date of birth. Now, the late 27-year-old Emmanuel Amwa in December last year allegedly had an altercation with the accused person at Putoja Abuontem, and in the process, the suspect hit him with a stick. He became unconscious and died 2 days after being admitted at the hospital. Now, appearing in court today, the court noted that, based on information available, the accused was 17 years at the time of allegedly committing the act. The court thus adjourned the case to the 23rd of January 2023 and asked the prosecutors to accordingly amend the charges against the suspect in line with the laws concerning juveniles.
A 35-year-old man suffered gunshot wounds from a man suspected to be a military officer in Aplau yesterday. This was during a confrontation between some security officers and motor riders. The man, Kweku Tenge, who is currently in a critical condition at the Aplau Municipal Hospital, was shot in the leg by the suspected officer during the confrontation. Sources say an immigration officer who was also part of the team of security personnel sustained some injuries.
Now, the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority, Pius Enam Hajide, has given assurance that some 5 more youth resource centers being constructed in 5 regions will be completed by June 2023. This, he said, follows the government's decision to prioritize the completion of the 10 youth resource centers in the country in 2 phases. The resource centers come with a standard football pitch, running tracks, basketball court, swimming pool, a counseling center, and an ICT center, amongst others. During his working visit to the Volta Regional Youth Resource Center, Mr. Hajide assured that the facility will be completed by June this year.
The government and the governing board of the National Youth Authority decided, as a matter of strategy, that instead of spreading ourselves too thin and looking at constructing 10 facilities all at a go, we looked at decoupling into 5 cohorts, and we concentrated heavily on 5 in the previous year, and we are concentrating heavily on 5 within this year. And so if you check, you notice that the facilities in the Upper West region, in the Eastern region, in the Bono region, in the Western region, and the Central region are very much advanced, and very soon will be handed over to the various communities for usage. And it's a strategy to not spread ourselves too thin so that we can maximize the resources to ensure early completion.
So you heard that the Chief Executive Officer of the National Youth Authority, Pius Enam Hajide.
The Africa Center for Retirement Research is calling for changes to the pensions indexation regime to help poorer pensioners in the current economic conditions. Last week, the Social Security and National Insurance Trust, SNIT, announced a new monthly pensions indexation rate by an average of 25% for the year 2023. The review will see all 234,000 legitimate pensioners on the SNIT pension roll have their monthly pensions increased by a fixed rate of 19%. Per the increment, the minimum paid pensioner will receive 430 cedis, while the highest paid pensioner receives a little over 160,000 cedis. The Africa Center for Retirement Research, however, says the difference between amount payable to the highest and lowest earners are inequitable. Executive Director of the Center, Abdallah Mashoud, has been speaking to Citi News.
We have gotten to a point where we need to review the mode of pension indexation in this country. In reviewing pensions, we need to consider a model that segregates the fixed rate of increment in a manner that high monthly pension earners will receive a moderately lower fixed rate as compared to low monthly pension earners. For instance, if you give 19% fixed rate to everybody, shooting the highest earning pensioner from 142,000 to 168,000, clearly there's something wrong, and it has to do with the mode of indexation. You have to really segregate the fixed rate. Check that the high monthly pension earners will receive a lower fixed rate as compared to low monthly pension earners. So, for instance, if you are doing an overall of 25% and a fixed rate of 19%, the high monthly pension earners, let's say from 10,000 all the way up to 142,000, could have been receiving, let's say, 15%. Whereas the low monthly pension earners, say from 300 Ghana cedis to 600 Ghana cedis, way below the minimum poverty line. You could increase for the lower monthly pension earners by something close to, let's say, 25% instead of 19% across board for everybody.
We had the Executive Director of the Africa Center for Retirement Research, Abdallah Mashoud.
Now, the High Court in Accra has directed the National Security Coordinator, the Inspector General of Police, and the Attorney General to apologize and make compensation of 40,000 Ghana cedis to Emmanuel Ajafor, editor of modernghana.com. Emmanuel Ajafor in 2019 sued the three state actors after he was arrested by armed operatives of the National Security for allegedly making publications against National Security Minister Albert Kandapa. Mr. Ajafor at the time accused the National Security operatives of torture, but after 2 years of trial, the parties reached a settlement agreement to dispose of the matter. The settlement agreement cited by Citi News also instructed the respondents to cater for legal fees of Emmanuel Ajafor to the tune of 10,000 Ghana cedis and also replace one HP laptop, 2 mobile phones, and 1 Huawei tablet, which were seized at the time of his arrest. Citi News sources, however, revealed that the state actors are yet to honor the terms of the settlement agreement, which was accepted by the court in 2022.
And that's how we end today's edition of the City Prime News, which has been live from our studios in Adabraka, Accra. For more news, please log on to citinewsroom.com. My name is Hawa Idrisu. I was here with
Kweku Ediama Ansa.
Michael Loboju is up next with the afternoon's edition of City Business News. Many thanks for your company. Do have a great afternoon.
City 97.3. More variety. The city is alive on 97.